Alex.
What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and Benny Johnson is being sued, and all the leftoids are very, very excited about it. We're going to take a look at that lawsuit and exactly what is going on. But I do want to start this out by saying,
what's up, guys? Let's start this out by saying, hey, welcome back, or for the first time. And yeah, we had a little bit of a mixed bag response from yesterday's video that you guys saw, and Benny Johnson was on the thumbnail. And perhaps maybe this is the future. This is the direction and the path that we shall go down. Yesterday's video had over 1,000 comments. It had over 1,000 comments, 1,006 currently at this time to be exact. And let's see here. It is currently 5:05 p.m. Central Standard Time, and the sun's getting real low. So you can see I think that's the sun coming in, shining light on my face. But here we are, almost 6 p.m. And the time at which YouTube updates their back-end analytics is around this time, but sometimes it's later, sometimes it's the next day. But just out of curiosity, I wanted to see just how much, here we go, was paid out on this video. And there we go. So far, this video has made that much, almost. And there's more to be made, I'm sure. But literally, that's how much is made so far. But there's a cutoff time because it's been getting views today. And so it'll make more tomorrow that registers today, and so on and so forth, and however long it continues to get views. And so not bad for, a short amount of time, a short amount of work, very, very low effort here. And it got over 4,000 watch hours, which is what you need to get monetized on YouTube, and over 100 subs. So these are all good things, positive. And like I said, over 1,000 comments. Now it's got 1,009. It'll have more by the time I get this video edited and uploaded. And if you want to see all the numbers, if you want to see everything, then make sure you're over on Patreon. Make sure you are a paid member. Now, I read a lot of the comments as they came across the feed, across my YouTube studio dashboard. So I'm looking forward to reading more comments as we dive into this latest bombshell drop, The Quartering. And Benny Johnson sued, faces jury trial, also an apology from me to him. Let's dive in, folks. And a big thank you to our friends over at Chapter. And if you are interested in saving money, specifically on your Medicare, then make sure you give our friends at Chapter a call. And I want you guys to really, really pay attention here, because it's come to my attention that most seniors are not on the best Medicare plan. They're either overpaying for the same coverage they could get elsewhere, or they don't have the coverage they need in an emergency. Chapter can review your options in under 20 minutes. It's fast, it's simple, it's easy, and it's free. If you're already on the best possible plan, they'll tell you they're unbiased and they're purely here to help folks, seniors, save money on healthcare, on average $1,100. And if you're not on the right plan, they'll help you switch, even if it's to a plan that pays them nothing. Again, unbiased, folks. This is unique and unlike any other Medicare provider out there. And this is exactly why we love Chapter so much, because they're literally just trying to help people. Chapter works for you, not big insurance or the government. And there's no pressure, just honest, free advice from professionals who know Medicare inside and out.
but I do want to start this out by saying, with an apology to Benny. I think I know I have taken some catty, kind of like passive aggressive shots at him here and there, whether it's on my live stream or it's on X. And I don't think that that's warranted. I think that was coming from a place of jealousy I always viewed myself as like one of the hardest working people in the space. And basically Benny just came in and outworked me and did what I did better and more frequently.
You know, I don't mean to cut him off here. I don't know what his name is. I think his name is the Quartering, but I don't know what his real name is. And it'd be nice to kind of refer to him by his real name. But I brought this up to Michelle last night and I pointed it out to her. And she had an interesting perspective on this. And I don't know if it was necessarily just being outworked that ultimately led to Benny Johnson's success and growth and virality and massive paycheck. And that expensive Mercedes-Benz G-Wagon that he drives, or at least was in the photograph of the community post he put up coming home after spending time at the White House in the press briefing room.
Started, and as always, we'll start with our new media seat, who is our podcast host today, Benny Johnson. Benny, why don't you kick us off, and thanks for being here.
Thank you, Caroline. As a DC resident of 15 years, I lived on Capitol Hill. I witnessed so many muggings and so much theft. I lost track. I was carjacked. I have murders on my Ring camera and mass shootings. I witnessed a woman on my block get held up at gunpoint for $20, and my house was set ablaze in an arson with my infant child inside. And so to any reporter that says and lies that DC is a safe place to live and work, let me just say this. Thank you. Thank you for making the city safe, because no parent should have to go through what my family went through, having the fire department rip open their door to save their infant child. And so thank you for your work on securing this city. My question to you is this. Nancy Pelosi has attacked the president for deploying the National Guard to the city, saying that it is to cover for his incompetence. Hillary Clinton has also attacked the president for securing the city of Washington, D.C. I'd like to get your response to Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton.
Sure. Well, first of all, Benny, I'm so sorry that happened to you and your family. There have been, unfortunately, far too many victims of crime in this city, and I know the majority of residents in the District of Columbia agree with you. In fact, a new poll from the Washington Post I was reading this morning, this was released in May of 2024, so it's quite funny how many of you in the media agreed with what the president was saying yesterday, but now once the president says it, many of you are disagreeing with him. But this poll released by the Washington Post found that 65% of district residents think crime is an extremely serious or a very serious problem, and this was up from 56% last year.
But I think that was a part of it. I think that was a huge part of it, for the fact that Benny Johnson was boots on the ground. And the Quartering, I don't think was. I think the Quartering was pretty much kind of like what we are here, what I am doing now. Sitting in my bedroom, making a video, just trying to see how much money I can make in the shortest amount of time. And I'm not even posting as much as the Quartering. I'm not going live because, to be honest with you guys, I despise going live. I hate it. So I probably won't be going live. And most of the live streams that you guys saw were pre-recorded. I noticed that, a lot of other people were doing it and they were getting more views. So I decided to do it. But honestly, I don't even give a shit anymore. And so the difference here being boots on the ground, I think Benny Johnson was, the fact that he put himself in the middle, as close as he could get to the middle, was part of his, meteoric. It's not mediocre. It's meteoric, like a meteor. Like, it was huge. Like, it was a burst. His rise, despite, where he came from and his challenges, and even some folks that, chose to unsubscribe from him for various reasons, he still popped because I think that he was in the mix. He was a part of the campaign.
And I think the criticisms were coming from not a good place. And that's a lot of high female energy. And so I apologize for that. I have a video about, I haven't talked to him about it, but I probably will. Again, I don't love the walls are closing in kind of stuff constantly, but like, you could levy that same criticism about me. So is he a little clickbaity? Sure. Can I be at times? Sure. So I just wanted to put that out there, that I was kind of being a little baby back biatch.
Hey guys, I'm watching this for the first time with you. So these are my honest reactions and responses here. I'm glad he called himself out on that. And yeah, I don't know about you guys, but clickbait is just, it's getting so, it's getting to the point now where it's the norm. It's the standard, right? I don't use clickbait, you know? So there's that.
About that. So, you know, all the success he's had, you know, that's great. And he's doing incredible work. His channel is massive. And so I want to say that. But also, by the way, mention real quick, our blackberry cream is now available on Amazon. It is.
I don't know about this. I didn't know that there was a sponsor plug in here, and I can't deal with the sponsorship, so we're going to skip past that.
Obviously, your mileage will vary, but they're all very delicious. So according to Headline USA, conservative plagiarist Benny Johnson's show is sued for stealing content. Now, people are bringing up his past plagiarism. There was a controversy many years ago in which he was fired from, I believe, BuzzFeed, I think. We'll look at that, but this is conservative plagiarist Benny Johnson's show sued for stealing content. In July 2014.
Now, I don't know about the Headline USA. I don't know if this is a real publication. I don't know if this is satire. I don't know if it's one of those Midas touch, you know, bash the right, eat MAGA websites. So grain of salt here, folks. Grain of salt.
Johnson was fired from BuzzFeed after the site reportedly found 41 instances of, quote, sentences or phrases copied word for word from other sites among the 500 stories he had written. Now, I don't know if that's a case of plagiarism or laserism, not properly, you know, crediting stuff, but I assume he's obviously learned from that. I haven't seen any instances of that. I guess until this lawsuit. We're going to take a look at this lawsuit. Ken Silva, The Benny Show, hosted by conservative. Okay, this is clearly a left-leaning website. I didn't know that when I pulled it up, but let's see, because they call him a conservative grifter.
I kind of figured that from the start. I feel like as long as the quartering has been doing this, he should have picked up on that. But
by Benny Johnson is being sued for cribbing someone else's video of flooding in Black Mountain, North Carolina, from the hurricane last year. The plaintiff.
There's actually flooding in Nashville, Tennessee, Knoxville, Tennessee. I saw that today. There's flooding up there. Pretty bad.
Virginia resident Billy Bowling said in his lawsuit that he published a video of the flooding September 28, 2024. 2 days later, Johnson's show took the video and published it to his YouTube, Facebook, and Rumble channels, according to the lawsuit filed this Monday in North Carolina federal court.
I don't have a Rumble channel. People talk about it all the time. What do you guys think? Should I start a Rumble channel? We're thinking about going over to TikTok. I don't know about Rumble. I post a lot on Patreon, but I like Patreon. I've never really tried Rumble, so I don't know.
Court, which means that he's suing for many hundreds of thousands of dollars, I believe, for this to be federal. Bowling said he first, noticed the copyright infringements on October 7th. Later that month, the video was registered by the U.S. Copyrights Office. So it seems like when the video was out there, it was not copywritten. He saw Benny used it and then copyrighted.
So speaking of a federal investigation, I'll see if I can find it because I saw it earlier today, or maybe I read it. I don't remember. But Big Tish, Letitia James, I think she's under federal investigation. And the thing about the federal investigations is ultimately what they can then uncover in their investigation for whatever reason it may be, which they may discover something far worse than what brought them in to begin with. And so I'll see if I can find that clip and show you guys.
How long have I been doing the mortgage fraud alone? And I saw one of your comments. You guys are saying, maybe 90% of members of Congress committed mortgage fraud. I mean, that's unbelievable to me. You do not like just, say, hey, I want to save a couple points. And it's even less than that. It's like, a quarter of a point probably that they're saving on their mortgages and doing that. But it wasn't just that that's being alleged now. It's this other thing that's coming forward with this other investigation. So they've got 2 bites at the apple. So basically, Pam Bondi is going to say, okay, you in Albany, you in Northern Virginia, you guys both go at it, see what you come up with. And then, the grand jury investigation, it's a big deal. And I do think it's going to result in indictments. Anyway, here's Miller.
Copyright is, look, it's something, my editors have dealt with a lot of times. There's various levels of it, right? If you can use a video and be transformative, cover it, and give credit. In all of my years on YouTube, maybe, how long have I been doing the quartering alone? 10 years, something like that. Thousands of videos, billions of views. I've only ever had one instance where there was a video that somebody had wanted copyright and they didn't copyright. They tried to they copyright struck me. But I ended up just emailing them and squaring everything away. It wasn't that big a deal.
I mean, it wasn't, but for some people, some instances, it could delete your channel.
A lot of times people just want credit for the work and they should get it. And that's a big reason I stopped doing
I think today people want the money for the work. They want the revenue, not just the credit. And in my opinion, if you're posting content online and you're not making money off of it, I think that's stupid. I think that's just dumb. In the day and age where you can make money from simply posting videos on the internet on multiple platforms, and people are becoming successful, wildly wealthy, rich, and multimillionaires off of it, I just think that's really, really dumb. I think that's stupid.
Those short, whoa, look at this. And then it's 45-second short.
It's a missed opportunity. And then it's a missed opportunity. And then to then say that you hate your job or you don't make enough money or you can't keep your head above water, you're struggling to pay your bills or whatever. It's you chose this. I mean, you're choosing to do the work, spend the time and the effort, but not to capitalize on it and turn it into revenue, a passive income stream. I just don't get it.
Technically, probably qualifies as fair use, most likely, but it felt a little lazy and sleazy, just lifting a video and just being whoa. It got a lot of views in shorts and made money, but now I've shifted my shorts to actual unique original content the entire time. But again, copyright stuff is murky. So Benny Johnson's show is being sued for stealing.
The big networks use copyrighted content all the time. The mainstream media, hell, the media is now even using clips from social media, from YouTube, from X. I've seen Cat Turd. I've seen Libs of TikTok. I've seen Gunther Eagleman, a few others out there winding up on CNN, on Jimmy Fallon or Kimmel or one of those shows.
Someone's work. In April, Bowling sent a letter to Johnson's show about the alleged theft. A month later, he sent another letter to, quote, avoid litigation. However, Johnson still had the videos on his channel. Johnson's reproduction of the video and display of the video constitutes willful copyright infringement, his lawsuit states. Bowling is seeking monetary compensation for Johnson to disgorge, I don't know what that even means, the profits he made from the content. Well, so I honestly, dude, this is what I tell people when, a lot of people come to me because, when other creators are dealing with copyright claims and stuff like that, because I've literally never lost a claim in my life. I've never received a copyright strike because I try to follow the rules, obviously. And if there's an inadvertent mix-up, I take care of it. The problem is, for example, there are copyright trolls out there. Every month or two, I get emails from people claiming to represent this company or that company. Just pay me $5,000 and I'll go away. And in 100% of the time, in the cases that I've actually looked into it, these are just copyright trolls. They don't actually represent that company. And so it's hard to know that Benny even got the email. I'm trying to be.
Like, it's hard to know that Benny received the email and took it seriously, considering how much spam and an AI bot trash is out there, really. And honestly, guys, it's almost like the way I have to look at the comments is because a lot of these comments, I don't know if they're real people or not. So I'm not going to sit there and waste my time responding or even giving two shits about some of these comments and then taking away from making more videos, making more money, spending time with my family, having fun, enjoying life, driving my car, all the things, like the reason why I'm doing this. Okay. And so, as I mentioned before, the bots aren't members. The bots aren't paying to become members. So if anybody really wants to connect, then you should be a member on Patreon. Send me a message, leave a comment there, and then I'll know for sure you're a real person and I'll respond.
I'm trying to bring these two sides together here. I think I have a solution. All right. Which we'll get to, but like Benny, bro, like now there's a lawsuit. This guy obviously just, he wants his money. A lot of people falsely think like a YouTube video with like 40,000 views must have made tons of money. The video that Benny used this clip in probably made less than $100. Benny is clearly raking in hundreds of thousands per month. Just break the guy off a couple grand and move on. Like that's what I would do if I were Benny. Mistakes happen.
I wouldn't do that. Because you do that for them, the word gets out, and then you're breaking off a few $100 for everybody. No, stand your ground, Benny.
He has tons of money. Now, I don't know if the guy suing him is being unreasonable. We don't know what he asked Benny for directly.
Trying to weigh in on what you think someone else's financial situation and position is I mean, it's just pointless. It's pointless. This is actually a conversation I need to have on another video, but it's like, you don't know what I know. You don't know what you don't know. And no one knows Benny Johnson and his show and channel and his business, his financials, besides him, his accountant, his CPA, perhaps. And to be an outsider just saying, just pay the man, you're making a bunch of money. Nah, I don't agree with that.
If he asked Benny for $100,000, I'm sure that Benny said, suck a butt, which is exactly what I would say. Now, I would take the video down, but we don't even know that he received the lawsuit. No, Johnson did not immediately respond to requests for comment. The lawsuit was first...
taking the video down almost is an admission of guilt. And I'm not saying that Benny Johnson's guilty or not guilty, but by doing that, I would take that, and I'm sure like other, the prosecutor would take that as the judge or whoever's mitigating this lawsuit or this settlement would take that as an admission of guilt.
Reported by Seamus Hughes. Now, if we go back, people are judging. This was from 2014. 2014, 11 years ago. He wrote, which is funny because this tweet has 100 likes and 100 comments. This must have been way before he was famous. He has 4 million followers on X now. To the writers who were not properly attributed and anyone who ever read my byline, I am sincerely sorry. So he wrote this I'm sorry letter. People are dredging this up, and this leftoid website's like, he worked for Tenet, which none of those people were ever actually... None of them knew that it was tied to Russia, and I'm pretty sure the Attorney General had dropped the charges. I thought I heard Tim say that, like even against this Russian agency. You see, more recently, last year, the Justice Department revealed that Johnson, Tim Pool, Dave Rubin had all been funded by Russia. That's just an outright lie. All three men claimed that they were unaware of receiving money. Well, the government itself said that they did not know that. So again, I have to editorialize this editorial because it's full of lies. Johnson had said they had been asked to provide content for a media startup, which is exactly how it went as far as I understand it. Johnson had taken material from this reporter without attribution. Earlier this year, Headline USA broke the story that alleged would-be Trump loser Ryan Routh attempted to buy a rocket launcher from Ukrainian. This reporter was first to publish the court records of the matter. Johnson took these records and posted them to his ex without attribution. Again, here's the thing. Benny doesn't even run his own Twitter account. I know who runs his Twitter account. So this is the problem when you get to be too big and the race to monetize. Part of, I've talked about like leaving X.
Keep your friends close, folks. But don't forget, keep your enemies closer. And nobody knows how I run my show.
What I really want to do is go. I had a long conversation with all my staff last night, everybody from my live show and everything too. And I'm like, I'd really rather just spend time in my members Discord or in my users Discord. By the way, that Discord there's free to, there's a members area, which you can join if you want, but you can join the regular Discord where there's thousands of people. I feel like my time is better spent there talking to the people that actually want to watch my content, actually want to talk to me, versus dealing with the bot nonsense on X. And all these major creators don't even run their own X accounts.
Makes sense. Literally what I just said.
So again, did Benny Johnson steal this without attribution? No, he didn't. Along with his unethical behavior, Johnson also made egregious reporting errors. In a documentary about July 13th, 2024, Butler attempt, he falsely reported that Secret Service counterattackers returned fire and missed the alleged incident. Well, that is wrong. But again, we all get things wrong in the race to be first on a lot of stuff.
And now we're just splitting hairs, it seems.
And, again, Benny apologized. Here's a link of 41 posts, which we found plagiarism and attribution issues. Benny was probably just being lazy. I don't think he's an evil guy. I really think just break this guy off a couple of grand and move on with your life. Like, that's the actual solution here. There's some plagiarism. I'm shocked. People use clips all the time that are all over social media and X, and it's difficult to even know who the first person is in the first place. Like, I see a video on X, and I would bet dollars to donuts that they aren't the person that originated it. So who the heck do I even credit? So I credit the person who stole it. I'm the credit the person that freebooted it. That's why X is such a cesspool. I hope that Benny just, pays his, hey, look, he used the guy's video without his permission. The guy went out of his way to copyright it, probably to get money out of Benny Johnson. At the end of the day, he used this guy's copyrighted video. The guy went the extra mile to copyright it, break the guy off a couple grand, move on with your life.
I mean, if you want money that bad, just go fucking work for it.
This going to trial would be, he's requested a trial jury, by the way, a trial by jury, which is insane. Is it a cash grab? Well, I think it'd be easy to call it that, but again, it is the guy's video. So, break the guy off some money, give him some credit, move on with your life. We all make mistakes. Don't forget, pick up your BlackBerry cream.
All right, now we're back into the sponsorship.